This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
What was your relationship like with Brock back in 03? You know, it's been talked about a lot that there was professional rivalry, at least based on your amateur status. And there's the famous story that I'm sure we'll talk about sometime, but were you guys pals at the time? You know, just co-workers? What was the relationship like with you and Brock?
Well, when it started, we were, we knew of each other and well aware of what was going on. And, he had a great, what was the question just asked me?
What was your relationship like with Brock?
My relationship with Brock, we got along really well. We didn't know each other very well, but what happened was, and I don't want to get deep into the story, but Brock, someone asked him how you do against me in an amateur wrestling match, and Brock said I would crush him. I'm too big for him. And I was like, okay, we have a problem. I'm going to have to confront Brock, because when the boys start talking, it just gets really crazy. And it really builds. So I approached Brock and said, so you said you could beat me in a wrestling match? And he said, well, yeah. And I said, well, let's go right now. And he said, no, I don't want to get in the ring. I have my sandals on. I said, well, we'll wrestle barefoot. And he said, no, I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that. And I said, well, just be careful what you say. So not to get into the story, that was the beginning of it. But Brock and I, it actually broke the ice between us, because now we could start communicating and feel comfortable around each other. And within a couple of weeks, we were traveling together.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, we were doing the program together. We were traveling together. Big Show, Brock and I all together. We had that threesome program. So I got to know Brock very well during that time.
It's been said a lot that he absolutely hated travel. How was he as a traveling companion?
Well, he hated travel so much he bought a private plane so he wouldn't have to go to airports. So, he hired a pilot, and his pilot lived in his basement. So he set himself up really good. And, he didn't like the travel. He didn't want to be on the road all the time. I mean, that's the reason why he stopped wrestling. That's why he tried out for pro football, the NFL, because he wanted to be in a city where he could train and compete and not leave, except for 8 weeks a year, where he'd have to travel to another town to have a football game every Sunday. So that it was less travel and more at home. And that's what Brock likes. He likes to be at home.
I want to remind everybody, Brock had just won the 2003 Royal Rumble, so he's the #1 contender now for the WWE Championship. Also, just to add a little context to this, Heyman had been an on-screen character in addition to, being involved in creative. He turned on Brock at Survivor Series, joins the Big Show, and takes Lesnar's first title away in the process. So as the weeks roll on, the feud shifts from sort of Brock versus Heyman to now Brock versus Angle. And it's going to be the greatest matchup of NCAA Division I heavyweight champions in history. When or I guess I should ask, when did you know? I'm main eventing WrestleMania, and I'm doing it with Brock Lesnar. Did you know before the Rumble?
Yes, I knew before the Rumble. I ended up winning the title from Big Show and Brock in a match I believe was in December.
That's right.
Yes. And I knew that Vince McMahon wanted a program between Brock and I. And Brock was only just started like maybe 6 months prior, before December. And he was relatively new, but he was kicking butt. He had a big impact on the business. His work rate was incredible. He looked like a monster. He had all the tools necessary to become a hugely successful professional wrestler. And I knew that, Brock got it. He was, you know, he got the entertainment aspect, and he, you know, the work that he did. He's one of the best technical workers in the business, especially when he wants to sell for you. Brock is, right. You know, I remember a match between him and AJ Styles a couple of years ago, and you know, I told Brock. He said, well, what about this AJ kid? Is he any good? I said, he's really good. I said, if you sell for him, Brock, you're going to have a 5-star match. And Brock sold for him, and it was incredible. That was the type of match that I wanted to have with Brock. Brock had to sell in order to make the fans believe that I could win.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.